right. Well, hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to Song Swap. And today, my buddy Ethan Fogus is gonna swap some songs with me and say hey to everybody.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, hello, folks. Hey.
All right. Yeah.
So who's going first?
You just moved back from Columbia, right?
I just moved back from Columbia, South Carolina. That's correct.
How long were you there?
I was there for 5 years. And when I was there, I had a group of people who were some of the most lovely people ever. And it's been interesting to come back to Atlanta because I spent about an hour in traffic at my new job, but I kind of think of it as paying the artist tax because there wasn't any traffic in Columbia, but that was because nobody wanted to live there, you know. So I'm been here for the duration.
And you're a songwriter?
I'm a songwriter,
Musician.
I play pedal steel guitar, I play piano, I play guitar, I enjoy singing. I've written songs with Cicada Rhythm. I've written a song for that Mermaid Motor Lounge is putting out. So yeah, I like writing songs. It's how I experience the world. I think in terms of lyrics. And just when you're a songwriter, it's really important, which is really cool about this series. When you're a songwriter, I think it's really important that you learn the people's songs in the community around you, especially when one strikes you as striking. You should be what's the magic here at play? What is the intervallic value this person is doing?
You went right over my head with that intervallic.
I was just being fancy. What are the chords? What are the chords this person is playing? I felt like I had to be fancy. The hat, your hat was making me feel. It was intimidating.
It's a t-shirt, though, you know?
It's a t-shirt, but the hat, you know. But your name is on the fucking building, so.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, just so what is the special magic, right? Bob Dylan said that everybody has 3 tricks, you know. So just kind of figuring out, and I think 3 tricks is more than enough, and just kind of figuring out what is everybody's trick and trying it out. I read a lot of songs.
I consider a good album if there's 3 good songs on the album. That's a great album.
That's a fucking that's
3 out of 10. That's pretty good.
That's a high standard. Yeah, you know.
Well, cool. Well, I'd love to hear a song.
For me, I'd love to hear a song from you. I gotta capo and do all that stuff. So, should I talk about it before I play it?
If you like.
Alright. So, a couple of things happened. I was writing my first and last solo record with, and I'd kind of given myself, a challenge, the first, sound connector challenge, except it was for myself. And I wrote this song about just sort of, leaving town, and then, you know, the possibility and the journey and the very American sort of idea of it. And the chorus is all about you know, you can leave behind this thing, you know, you can just say hey, start calling me Spike or whatever. And it's called Change Your Name, and it was inspired by that and watching a lot of RuPaul's Drag Race with my wife and seeing these queens would move away someplace and they'd have a new name, you know. And there's a lot of power in naming something and naming yourself. So, and I was also listening to Small Houses a lot. So there's a lot of just those 3 little things, you know, coming together.
All 3 tricks.
Yeah. We were standing in the driveway, drinking beer in the soft rain. Your promotion had just come through and we were packing for your move. You said that you weren't sure if you could leave all these friends. And I said, well, you could change your name and drive to a different state and buy a new house with a 2-car garage. Oh, you can stay right here and wait out another year, and if it's not the same, you can change your name. Some nights when we come home, you'll call me on the phone. Say last year was a whirlwind, but you're learning to lean in it. I say I know it's hard, but I've been dreaming of skipping town. And you said, well, you could change your name and drive to a different state and buy a new house with a 2-car garage. Oh, you can stay right here and wait out another year, and if it's not the same, you can change your name. Hey, you can change your name. Alright. Woo! You can change your name and drive to a different state and buy a new house with a 2-car garage. Oh, you can stay right here and wait out another year, and if it's not the same, if it's not the same, if it's not the same, you can change your name.
Wow.
Hell yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. We have a fourth.
Okay.
I love it.
No, if we were supposed to clap or not.
Yeah, I like it. No, that definitely broke the tension for me. That was much appreciated.
Are we
For
supposed
sure.
to pretend like we're not here?
No, just the opposite. We're supposed to pretend like there's 20 of us.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
No. Thank you.
I'm seeing the images.
Do you want us to all,
Sure.
Jason, like clap really loud real quick so you can overdub that?
Overdub that
So
second
if we
one.
run behind the
It's all
couch
one take,
clapping.
guys.
He does not have that kind of time. No, yeah. Well, like I try to
Oh, wow.
like
People standing up.
learning to write imagistically was a really important component for me. Like in college, when I learned about like concrete images and poetry, it like blew the back of my head off because it's like if you put images, people see it, you know, and like so I'm a very imagistic driven one. So yeah, thank you for noticing my images. What's up, Jason Waller? I'm at your house.
Is it more comfortable to play in front of 4 people listening or 100 people yelling over you?
I don't know. I mean, when I was in Columbia, I played at a church a lot, and that might actually be the easiest audience to play for. Although they don't clap for you, so you don't
They
know.
rarely clap on
Yeah.
the 1 and the 3 or the 2 and the 4.
Yeah, I mean
don't
that's
even know
fun
what
too. Yeah, trying to get them to clap, especially when we're doing old gospel ones, like "Come on downtown church!" Whoa, you know.
I'm pretty sure it was started the domino effect of me getting fired from a church. They wanted me to sing a song for the congregation, and they were singing too low, so I stopped. The whole congregation mid Laura lift her name on high, and we started over, and they started to go faster, and then a year later I was fired.
well, I think that like that's an important thing to know. You know, like I've seen songwriters like stop the song and be like, "Hey, we gotta like," you know. I mean, I've seen Springsteen do that, and he's fucking Springsteen.
Neil
You know.
Young played Old Man out of tune,
Nice.
and then asked the crowd if it was out of tune, and then played the whole song again. I'll never do that.
It takes a certain level of chutzpah, that's for sure.
Chutzpah.
Yeah.
Well, this first song I'm going to play you is one that I wrote in 2017 as a part of your 7 and 7 challenge.
Oh man.
And I haven't thought of these songs since then.
Yeah.
And I pulled up the little YouTube videos, and so
Relearned.
this will be like the first time I've ever played it in front of anyone.
This is really exciting.
And I think it was use of silence.
Yes. Been tricky prompt.
Have been tricky prompts. Been trying to get here all my life. I've been standing still, cautious with the knife. Afraid I'll need it one day. Wasn't hard, but it took a while. Everything I thought I needed brings a smile. So many things that I got wrong. And now I know I never take photographs or hold on to anything. And I know nothing ever lasts. I'm in love with changing. I'm in love with changing. Here's where I've been. I keep looking out across the horizon. My gaze comes clear. But I lose my focus. I never take photographs. Hold on to everything. I know nothing ever lasts. I'm in love with changing. I've had everything I need. Always searching outward, I never noticed the bleeding. And I just used my hands. I healed myself. I healed myself. Never take photographs. Hold on to anything. I know nothing ever lasts. Yeah, I'm in love with changing. Yeah, I'm in love with changing.
Yeah, you are.
Little did I know that like started this like crazy transformation that I was going through, where I was headed into.
Which is, yeah, exactly like my comment about it. I mean, your life was diametrically different during that period. I mean, I remember that period of your life, and I mean, it was right when Waller's was like in the incubator stage, you know, and
We came over and did that Dad Presents video, and that's pretty much how our relationship started.
yeah, I mean, we know, like, I think our physical relationship, we'd been online buddies for a long time, but we never really got to touch each
I'm not
other's
very
heartstrings. No. I think I walked right into that one. No, I mean, but like, yeah, just like I don't know, like, and I don't know if this is appropriate to say, but just like I would have a lot of nights where I'd be like, man, I really when I'd be in Columbia, like I really wish I'd known Jason before I left, you know, or like I really wish I'd known Pony League before I'd left, or Gus, or any of those people, and so
We had some good combos.
yeah, you
over the
know,
years.
yeah, definitely. I mean, that was a period of our life. I remember you and I had a couple of phone calls with each other, just like, hey, I'm depressed. I just gotta tell someone about it, you know. And I think that's a special quality in somebody when they can just say, I gotta talk about it.
It's like, you got a
for
minute?
second.
I
Yeah.
don't need you to say anything. I just need you to listen.
I
to
just
what
need
have
a
to say.
human face to say this to be reminded of my dignity, you know, and that I deserve love. And yeah, like, so tell me about, like, I don't know, like, do you think this is an accurate reflection of you? Do you feel like you are in love with changing, or do you feel like
Yeah, for sure.
it's like a push-pull about change?
No, it's something I dove headfirst into. I knew I had to be a better version of myself to accomplish this thing I put out in front of me, and so I like set out to just fall over and over again. But, you know, it's like just keep failing forward is the joke I would tell myself. But I kept that. I was going forward,
Yeah.
and just admitting when I was awful at something, or taking accountability for, you know, not putting enough effort into something, or yeah, it was life is what you make it. It's like one of those dumb sayings, but it really is. Like, if you set your mind to something, you can do it.
Where do you think that spirit comes from for you? Is it like something you always knew, or like your parents taught you, or was it something that like developed over time as you like played music and realized, like, you know, hey, one night you might fail, the next you might not, or like that sense of tenacity, I guess?
I got tired of not. Hold on, what I'm saying.
Not a job interview.
I
You can
got
take your
tired
time
of
with it,
being
yeah.
a loser. No. I think it was. That's hilarious. I think it was my family that, and she's bringing me dinner. Which is
Oh,
awesome.
man.
It made me want to do better. You know, it made me want to be more of what I was, and my own brain was telling me that I couldn't do things, and like I go back and look at some of the songs that I wrote before I moved back to Atlanta, and man, I was depressed. I was like, oh man, I'm talking about like dying and finding my body on the floor. Not one person asked me if I was okay. It was crazy. They should have. But I was like, he's just lyrical, man.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that there is a lot of like the cult of like the tortured artist that I kind of rally against that, because I'm the happiest person I know. But I also know that I write pretty good, deeply compelling songs, and I do that because I'm happy, right? You know, and I think like that cult of the tortured artist like causes us not to see each other.
We all can't be Towns Van Zandt.
And we shouldn't be. He didn't like being Towns Van Zandt. Look at all the drugs he took.
Have you seen?
know?
You've seen that? That's it's about his son. It's like a little short video of his son loves building boats and loves fishing, and he put all of his time and energy and creativity into that. And I don't know. This is kind of like a tip to the hat to his dad. He's like, these are the things you taught me. This is how you were an awful person. But this is. No, you haven't seen that?
Can you get that on the YouTuber?
It's like a Cabela's commercial, probably, or some kind of like gardening gun.
It's a commercial
Yeah,
for
yeah.
Texas Roadhouse. Yeah.
It's pretty good. Pretty good.
I haven't seen that. That seems like some premium content though. Oh man. I have a follow up, but I can also it's a
Play a song.
more generic follow up for you. So we're gonna earmark that now,
Put a pin in it.
and time is gonna move forward in the same style it's been going forward in. I used to not crack wise, but then I saw Corey Brannon, and I was like, oh, he cracks wise on stage, like, and people like it, and it's a nice, like, counterbalance to, like, all the sad stuff he
His pedal
sings
board is
about.
ridiculous.
Yeah, you know, he's got a full setup. Last time I saw him, he had a full band.
Yeah.
Anyway, so here's a song that I wrote, like, every Sunday I try to write a new song, and this was something that was born out of that. And I was thinking a lot about, as I like rewrote the lyrics, you know, there's a lot of like this sense of like country Americana that I feel like is disingenuous, where it's like, you know, I live in the South and I'm a farmer and it's great. And it's like, well, you're not a farmer anymore, probably, because it's, you know, at the time it was like 2017 or 2018. So you're not a farmer anymore, you know, you're working other things. And I was watching like, I was waiting at the gym and I saw, you know, they were talking about, you know, you can get your certification in medical coding, and then, oh, your barber's license. It's like, well, that's what real, you know, the people that I'm from, that's what they're doing now. You know, it's not, oh, I'm working at the factory or I'm working in the farm. It's like, no, they're working billing, they're working medical coding. So I wanted to put that into a song because that felt real. And yeah, that's how I developed that second verse, which I'm about to sing. You looked in my eyes when you put that ring back into my hand. Say we tried hard to work it out, and it's no one's fault. Then you drove to the state line. When you got there, you just kept driving. And I want to believe you were happier with me. Well, your sister said that you sold the car and dyed your hair. You got a tattoo down your forearm of your grandma's nickname. She said you're taking evening classes, studying for your barber's license. And I want to believe you were happier with me. Do you remember how you moved in my bench seat? Oh, say you remember how you moved across me. I drive a forklift for National Freight. I earned my silver chip. I don't know why these days, but I've been staying clean. Going to meetings. And still, when I pass a liquor store on my way home, it's all I can do to keep driving now. And I want to believe you were happier with, you were happier with me. Westwood College, man.
Well, yeah.
DeVry University.
So I was doing those. Did you do the song prompt challenge that I did, or
I've
did
done
we
a
just
few
talk
of them.
about? Or
Tell
did
me
you just
about
talk about it.
Well, we've
No,
done a lot.
you-
I know there's been a lot of face space like stuff I've been in. I know we've been in a few groups together.
So maybe So I was doing one where it was like a word prompt.
Cobwebs
Cobweb
was one of the words.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
And then we'd spend all week writing something just with that. And it was a very broad.
Yeah.
And you could do whatever you wanted with it because I hate rules. But then you did one that was 7 and 7, and what I loved about that was it was around a technique, like a songwriting trick, if you will. Like the other one was silence.
Yeah.
And then like use geography, and then you would reference. I didn't start the fire, or something.
Yeah, like thinking about it in terms of like
A format or formula.
a format or a formula, or like a technique, or like, I mean, songwriting is fun. What was your question basically? Like, how did you derive that, or I kind of cut you off mid-sentence?
No, I like that you've taken. It's not a scientific approach, is it? But it's a very like. The tools, like songwriting tools, and you've spent a lot of time like thinking about chord structures and what's that chorus gonna go to, and for me, like I fell in love with John Prine and Jimmy Buffett songs that were so simple and so country.
Yeah.
That
But loaded with great images and great rhythm.
it's those lines, that I don't know, the one-liners got me. I like stand-up comedy as well.
Yeah. We talked about that, yeah.
But you did one, and you educated me on what the millennial whoop was.
Yeah.
Will you explain to me what the millennial whoop is?
The millennial whoop is traditionally after a chorus. It's like a post-chorus. I believe it's the fifth to the third, so. Just the which is like in a bunch of Katy Perry stuff, and like, I listen to a lot of pop music, just
Break it down.
just because there's exciting ideas there that you can always like learn from and analyze. So is this your millennial whoop?
It is. And,
Woohoo!
and once again, this is like the first time I've ever played this for anybody.
Nice.
And I like it because
key are we in, E?
it's telling a story of, and it has nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
Which is
important. I mean, that's how I think about it too. Is not thinking about just you.
so. This is about like an unhealthy relationship. Somebody's always moving out,
Yeah.
and the song's called "Moving Day." This empty space right between the words we speak. If you could see how thick as thieves we used to be, but you come back like an unwanted wave. I should brace or run away. You control me with that look so desperately. Broken promise doesn't stop the time we see. This is the last time I put up with this. The next day I'm back letting you in. I know I'm tired of waiting for you. Change your ways like a tidal wave. I'm trying to. Too much heartbreak, not enough break. Enough of the drowning that you put me hope moving day comes. I was in the other room, heard me talking. Out of context, but right on point, it's nothing. Same argument, a different way. The same apartment on a new moving day. I know I'm tired of waiting for you. Change your ways like a tidal wave. I'm trying to. Too much heartbreak, not enough break. Enough with the drowning that you put me through. I know I'm tired of waiting for you. Change your ways like a tidal wave. I'm trying to. Much heartbreak, not enough break. Enough with the drowning that you put me through. I hope moving day comes.
I love that.
It's fun.
Oh man,
Very,
that setup, that bridge is your setup and your payoff, man. I mean, going back to the comedy thing, right? Like,
I'm a stand-up comedian.
yeah, me too. At heart, you know.
That's my new thing. That's what's new. That's the new thing that scares the shit out of me.
I think we should do like stand-up comedy classes together, you and me, and all the extra time you have.
I'm just gonna start going to open mics.
Yeah.
And just be awful.
But that's the great thing about like owning a place, right? Because you can just like learn from watching people.
I wouldn't do it here.
No. You don't need to go to a class. You can just watch some people here and like analyze them. You know.
That's funny.
No, if you did it here, everyone would be like, "Oh, that was really great,"
Yeah.
and you wouldn't get any real feedback.
Yeah. Free coffee for laughter.
But I loved that, man. I loved that because like I feel like there is like a structure and a dynamic there that I don't necessarily associate with that progression. That really struck me as striking.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I love that bridge. I wanted to ask you about because during this time in your life, and I know like a lot of your songs were written while you were dog walking. Did you find that like when you were like walking and thinking about lyrics that you were coming up with different cadences or like different rhythms or even different images? Like how was walking influencing your process?
Oh man. Well, songs for me like just come, or there'll be like a little seed of an idea, of a feeling, of a vision, of a of a memory of sorts, and I like having all these tools so that I can like really give it a go at trying to birth the song. But when it comes down to it, it's usually I'm doing something new for the first time in a song. I have a song called "Stoke the Fire," and there's a minor chord in there that makes no sense. Like it shouldn't. Oh, it's like a major chord instead of a minor. I don't know. But it works because I wrote it that way. You know. So I don't really believe that you have to follow a structure. It's just nice to be able to have tools and stuff to. But to answer your question, I spend a lot of time just looking for things. 'Cause I do the same routes all the time.
Yeah.
And I spend a lot of time looking for something new, something that I didn't see before, and sometimes I don't know. That's pretty much it. And I do little like phone notes.
Yeah.
Oh, and then I'd write a bunch of like rhymes, and then I would like try to write a song around it, and like because I don't have a very extensive vocabulary, so a lot of my rhymes are like I think in that song I rhymed heartbreak and break.
You did, yeah. But I'm all about the Risk rhyme, man. I'm all about Rick Rhymes, you know.
Rick Rhymes.
Rick Rhymes. I'm all about Risk
Yeah,
Rhymes.
yeah. I hate it when I write a song and I don't realize I just made a dumb rhyme.
Yeah.
Until later on, I'm like, ugh, I gotta change that.
Yeah.
So
Well, that's the thing too. It's like, and I think that's what like I learned a lot from Springsteen. Like when you dig into tracks, like his like box set or any of his stuff, like he'll just throw ideas at the wall, and a lot of them are terrible. But then he'll go to record "Darkness on the Edge of Town," and he's got 100, like 90 okay songs and 10 standouts. And you just gotta throw ideas down. But I don't know. Like I feel like when I read. Woof. When I listen and like hear your words for like "Stoke the Fire" or something, there's like this really nice like meter beating it along. You can like feel the walking step, the lockstep pace.
I think that's punk rock music for me.
Yeah.
For the longest time, I was playing solo, but like I was just beating the crap out of my guitar forever and then I saw Tyler Key play guitar and sing his songs last Friday.
That was a dope show. Yeah.
And I was watching like guitar players with a really loose, light right hand, like playing their part of the band and not because I was always like
guitar.
Yeah, I love it. And it took me a long time to like settle into dynamics, which I say I have, but I'm just aware of it.
Yeah. Well, no.
You don't have to beat the crap out of the guitar to write a powerful song. And there's plenty of examples of that.
No, I mean, I remember seeing you when you opened for Gas Hound at the Avondale Estates thing, and I thought your songs were really dynamic then.
I did that solo, didn't I?
You did do it solo.
Maybe I brought Tiffany up for a song.
Yeah, I think so, yeah, because it was also with Ben Tricky. It was a weird bill.
Oh, I played mandolin.
Yeah.
Tricky that night, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, playing solo was
and Blake Rainey.
Just what I did forever, and then having a band was just like this really awesome, easy thing. And then I got back to playing solo again, and I realized that I just didn't know to be scared. I was like, oh, this is horrifying. I'm really bad at all of this.
Oh, Jaybird.
You gonna play me one more song?
Sure. I'm trying to make up my mind about what I'm gonna play. I don't know. Do we want to end on a bummer note?
Yeah.
I got a new song. I got a lot of new songs, but this is a newer song. And it's just about. I've gone through this different period of my life where I feel like more imagistic and less narrative than usual, and I'm kind of like leaning into it. Like I've been listening to a lot of like Phoebe Bridgers and Palehound, and like they have this really nice conversational way of saying things. So
Phoebe Bridgers is one of my favorites right now.
Yeah.
And her Instagram has all been about Taylor Hollingsworth. He played this stage and to 4 people tops, and now all of her videos are him playing for thousands.
The
of
Hollywood
people.
Bowl.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And he gave he gave the same performance here as he did.
Wow.
Yeah, he's just like, these are my songs, and I'm just gonna be great for a little bit if y'all don't mind.
And I think that's like a true testament of like musicianing, like one day you're playing for 200 people, the one next it's 2, and that's neat, I mean, I kind of want to live in a world where there's always a next thing to look forward to. So like I remember there was a transition in my life where I used to think like every show needs to be better than the last, but like I was 18 and dumb. And then, like, I had a few bad ones, and then I had a good one, and I was like, oh, just every show needs to be, and that you need to do your best, and that's enough.
I started just making it.
Just making it.
And not caring about making it.
Yeah.
As soon as I turned that corner of, I enjoy this, that's why I want to do it, then I started seeing, like, actual progression, and, I don't know, I enjoyed it more. I didn't worry about the bullshit that comes along with trying to make a living with music.
Oh, for sure. And like anyone I know who's doing it is miserable, and it's just like it's nice to learn things. And I think that's where I am in my life right now. It's just I just want to learn some new things.
Well, let's hear it.
Carrying an NIV Bible and a copy of the Art of the Deal. My brother marched with a tiki torch, singing blood and soil in Charlottesville. Have you seen the pictures? Have you heard the words? Have you forgotten to ask what you mean when you say you want your country back? Taught me how to play piano, and the upright that stood in our house. He joined the army when he was 18, chanting 2, 3, 4 outside of the fort. Have you seen the pictures? Have you heard the words? Have you forgotten to ask what you mean when you say you want your country back? And how many passages could you take from Mein Kampf? And they'd sound like they came from the mouth of Donald Trump. He got out of the service during the recession, moved out to the suburbs and married a girl from his church. But they're behind on their rent, he told me last night in a phone call. And she's 3 months pregnant. He says he don't want to be a dad after all. Have you seen the pictures? Have you heard the words? Have you forgotten to ask what you say, what you mean? America's under attack. What you mean, what you say? You want your country back. What you mean, what you say when you want your country back? Yeah.
I like it, man.
Yeah,
A
man.
lot. And that's a brand new one or a newish?
Newish.
At least the last 2 years.
Yeah. Yeah. At least since everything went to shit.
Yeah.
Well,
When you write a song like that and you put it in its time and place, it's like I use that in songs sparingly, I guess.
yeah.
Just because I want to be relatable on the next one,
Yeah.
But it's a gutsy. I think it's a gutsy move to just to write political songs but you deal with that a lot in your songs, right? Like
I think so, and I think
issues.
and like what isn't necessarily explicitly political, can be political, and like I think I struggled with it for a while just because, like, it's so hard to have the good rhymes, you know? But once I learned a little more about, like, rhyming and, like, finding the character, you know, like, I think that there's the human story there, right? There's what happens politically, but there's also what happens in real life, you know? And, like, that song is loosely based on a friend of mine. He didn't go to the Trump rally, and he didn't vote for the president, but he's in a very, like, conservative Christian sort of world, and he was in the army, but, like, we were neighbors, you know what I mean, growing up, and just sort of, like, seeing the realities, and, like, it's like that TV show The Wire, you know, shit happens up here, but it affects our ability to imagine or what human stories we can have with one another down here, because there's this distance, right? It's like something happens up here, like, like we're in a poor school district, so we're gonna have more like army recruiters there to recruit people, and then that ends up being like what defines my friend's life, right? Because somebody is looking for that, or there are laws that do this. So I think for a long time I was definitely with you where I like resisted like singing about it because like I don't know, but like just reading a lot of books about it, like reading Claudia Rankine's Citizen was one of those books that just kind of like broke it open for me, and it's like no, like there's a human story there. And also like Justin from Mountain Party and I talk about this record all the time, but Desaparecido's record Paola was really influential on me too, because it's like, man, you can like tell these human stories in like interesting rhymes and like thoughtfully, but you don't need to necessarily hit someone over the head with it, because I don't know, like so far as the Trump question, I mean, I struggle with basic happiness every day, just at what our country has deemed as fine and like what my grandma posts on Facebook, you know. So I'm a human and it strikes me as striking, so I want to like go there, ask that question, right? We're songwriters, we ask questions.
Yeah, I'm into it, man.
Yeah.
I think I volunteered to play bass at your show,
You did.
and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not a bass player, and I sat and I learned all that record,
Yeah.
and then you're like, just kidding, man, I got somebody for it, and I was like, whew, because we weren't going to rehearse. I think.
No, yeah, it was.
Show up.
You were just gonna show up and be like, "I'm a bassist now."
Yeah,
I
I'm a
guess.
bass player now. Yeah,
Yeah.
I played bass in one band.
I just bought a bass, so if you know anyone who needs bass, then I can do, like Matt Pendrick. He taught me like when you do this one,
Oh yeah.
you say in your head, "Eat shit, yeah, eat shit, yeah."
Doghouse.
Free
bass,
music
man.
lesson, yeah.
Well, cool, man. Well, thank you, and looking forward to some more songs, and yeah, I appreciate you.
Thank you, man. Thank Wallers.
All right.
Oh shit! It's you! Oh shit!
Well, I'm gonna turn the air on. Why is it so hot in here?
It's summer.
It's all you, honey.
No,
You're just working.
We're trying to cut down on bills and stuff.